Hey. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We have theme music. You are watching me, Bob Doyle. That's right. It's time for another voiceover blab, and you know what that means? Or do you? You may not know. And we're live. That's right. Mike Baltus has officially made this show a real thing by saying that we are live. We are broadcasting now on blab.im/Bob Doyle Secret and also YouTube Live at youtube.com/The Bob Doyle Show, even though this isn't technically The Bob Doyle Show. Congrats for a fantastic appearance on Christy's event. Thank you very much. Is your name pronounced Tasia? Tasia? Because I see you. You're very nice with sharing and sharing Twitter posts and things like that. And I just appreciate your support. And I just wanted to be Taya. Nice to meet you, Taya. Thank you very much. And I see that this is your first time on Blab, which means that I guess you signed up just to see this? Is that correct? That's very nice. So let me tell you how this all works. And by the way, she is referring to, I was on, well, let me just give you a little bit of introduction. If you don't know me, just to give you some context, my name is Bob Doyle. I'm best known for being one of the feature teachers in a film called The Secret about 10 years ago, which is about the law of attraction. But in addition to having a passion around teaching the law of attraction, which I've been doing for 12 years, I also do voiceover work. And I also am the host of The Bob Doyle Show, which airs several times a week right here on blab.im/Bob Doyle Secret and on YouTube Live and bobdoyleshow.com. That's enough for the cross promotion, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into the meat of things. So what is this blab about? Well, I'm going to tell you. So we're going to spend a little bit of time together, and I'm going to show you how I generate a six-figure income on Fiverr, which you may or may not have heard of. But Fiverr is an online service where creative types can, hi Amin, thanks for being here, can make their creative wares available to the general public starting at just $5. And that is how I offer my voiceover stuff. I've been doing it for a couple of years now. And over the course of time, it has grown from being something that I was just sort of experimenting with, to an actual full-time income. And I'm doing it part-time, obviously, because I have other careers going, as I have mentioned. But this is something I do because I'm passionate about it. I have a lot of fun with it. And it's turned into something really lucrative. So I love sharing this opportunity with other people, because I know that there are a lot of people out there who are interested in voiceover, maybe have been told their whole life they got a great voice. They just wondered about the world. But if they've done any looking into it, they've learned that it's can be pretty intimidating. And I'm out here in Los Angeles, which of course, very competitive marketplace. And it involves agents and auditions and all that stuff. And quite frankly, I don't have time for that life to do voiceover. And so for years, I've always wanted to do it ever since I was 12 years old. And when I graduated college, I did it for a little bit. But back then, that was a long time ago. You had to drive to auditions. You had to stand in front of people, and you'd get them or you'd not, right? And of course, you got your agent. So it was just something I didn't have the time or bandwidth for at that time in my life, because I had a full-time radio job and whatever. So here we are 20, 30 years later. Wow, it really is 30 years later. What happened? Anyway, 30 years later, and here comes Fiverr and people offering their services. And I see voiceover people doing that. And I'm going, well, how much money can they make on Fiverr doing $5 jobs? Well, little did I know. I was so ignorant. But a lot of people have that impression. And so part of what I want to demonstrate for you here today is not only how I do this in my workflow and all of it, but to give you a peek behind the scenes of Fiverr and see what kind of jobs really actually come through. Like, what am I dealing with on a daily basis? Are they really $5 jobs, or are they more? Spoiler alert, they're more. There are a few $5 jobs in there, but if you get a $5 job and you got the right workflow, you're done in a minute. So $5 a minute. Yeah. So literally, if you extrapolate that, that's about $300 an hour. And that really is between $300 and $500 an hour is generally what this works out for me. Now, again, I'm not promising any of these types of results for anybody in particular, certainly not right out of the chute. I built to that. It didn't start like that. But I am going to show you, you're going to see sort of behind the scenes into my little workspace. You're going to see the revenue I've generated this month, everything. I'm just kind of total transparency. Hey, Ask WT, nice to have you here. I'm just going to show you everything because I don't have any sense of judgment, you see. So I just share my life with people. It's what I've always done. So I'm just going to show you everything, and you can make your own judgment. But of course, again, let me just say officially, whatever numbers you see here, these are my numbers. It's what's happened over cultivating this career over the past few years. What Mike Swivel is this? You know what? I think I actually have, if I'm not mistaken, I think this link right here, I'm going to send you a link. I hope this is right. If it's not, just let me know. This.com/Mike. And I think that link will take you to this exact swivel on Amazon. I'm not real sure. It wasn't expensive. It just attaches to the desk. I can't really remember, $50 or something like that. Don't see the brand. But speaking of equipment, let me just let all of you know who might be thinking, well, I don't have a studio. I don't have equipment. I can't. How do you market on Fiverr when you're new? These are all great questions. I will do my best to get to all the questions that you have. But in terms of equipment, you can, this looks pretty full blown, I know, because we got the mic stand and this type of mic. And yes, there's a mixing board and all this other stuff. But that's just because this is the studio I have. There are plenty of people doing this kind of work on Fiverr successfully with something as simple as a microphone like this. Now, Mike, don't go nuts on me here. This mic is just fine. Well, let me see what else I can tell you about this. I can tell you a little bit more about the course. So if you go to bobdoylevoice.com, what you'll see there is a description of everything that I do in the course, what you learn, and also some examples of, wow, I can't even reboot the computer. It's just saying, you know what, Bob, I really don't want to play with you today. All right, let's hang on just a second, because I have to at least get the process started of rebooting. But it is just like something is said, like I can't even move my mouse right now. Clearly, well, I mean, what's going on? Everybody, all right, hold on. I don't know. This is really, 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 really. You know what? I'm gonna have to brute force it, folks. Thank you for that, Beauty Bubble. I appreciate that. All right, I've just had to brute force turn off the computer, so it will be a few minutes while I reboot. So anyway, on that page, you'll see, all the different things that we cover in the course. It's a 4-week course. Now, this first round actually did go a little bit longer because it was the first time we did it, and we're sort of a learning curve and working out the scheduling because there's voiceover coaching in this as well. So if you've never done any voiceover before, or maybe just dabbled with it, and you're trying to find your voice, because that's the thing. I guess it's a misconception on some people's part that everybody has to sound like this super smooth announcer, or like, what they perceive as having a quote unquote great voice. But if you really listen to commercials on TV and radio and everything, you'll see that there's a whole wide range of voices and vocal qualities, and they don't necessarily sound like smooth or great or announcery or even professional, except for the fact that these people have learned how to interpret a script and bring some character into it and do a little bit of acting. I mean, that's really what this is about. They call it voice acting for a reason. It's not just reading words. Even if you have a great voice, if you just read the words and have no acting, then it doesn't communicate. It doesn't get the point across of the script. And so we talk about how to look at the script and understand what is it that the script writer is trying to say. What is it that we're trying to communicate here? And who do I need to be in this character to communicate this effectively? So that's a big part of the course, because that's really if you were to go to Fiverr right now and do a search on voiceover, you're going to hear a whole wide range of ability and talent. And you may hear some people with some really nice voices, but you'll hear what I mean. Maybe the delivery isn't quite as engaging, or it doesn't have the energy. It just doesn't hook you, right? And those people are still getting work. So what I want you to know about this whole idea is that there is so much work out there on Fiverr alone that people are going to, because it is less expensive and less hassle for a person who needs a voiceover job to just go to Fiverr and spend far less money than they would with an agency. So if you're sitting here going, yes, but if they're spending less, you're making less, right? Well, let's think about this for a second, because the whole process of auditioning, I will tell you this: when I started at Fiverr, I also joined one of these, they call them pay to play voiceover services. And so you, as the voiceover talent, pay something like, thank you very much, Mike, pay, whatever for the year, to be given the opportunity to be given auditions. So you create a demo and you send it up there, and now, a job will come up and you send an audition. I did that for a year
and never got one job. Now, after about a month or so of sending auditions and not getting anything, I just stopped, because why? I'm working at Fiverr every day. Why am I going to spend all this time creating all this stuff and competing all of that against all these other people? Because you see, with Fiverr, there is no audition process. This is still rebooting, by the way. It's still trying to reboot. There's no audition process. They come by, they listen to your demo that I teach you how to create in the course, and they decide, yes, that's the voice. Boom, and they pay and they buy the job. That's it. Okay. So let me explain a little bit about how the pricing works over at Fiverr. You decide what your rate is. Okay. Hi, CJR. I am so sorry. I don't have my. It's really hard for me to read these comments sometimes, especially now that I'm on my phone instead of. Hi, CJR or CJ Ripka. How about that? That's what I'm going to go for. So you create your rates on Fiverr. So for example, for me, one $5 gig, which is what they purchase, is 50 words of script. Well, most scripts are more than 50 words. So that means that if it's 100 words, then it's going to be 2 gigs or $10. If it's 150 words, it's going to be $15. But even that is not the end, because if they want it tomorrow, then it's an extra cost. If they want it today, it's even more of an extra cost. If they want it in a certain format, it's an extra cost. If they need it synchronized to a video, it's an extra cost. Do you see what I'm saying? So over the course of a job, it can start as a $5 job and end up being a $45 job. And that happens to me a lot. And so Fiverr gives you a lot of different ways to add these, they call them gig extras. Wow, it's restarting again. I have no idea what's going on. Yes, I'm rebooting my computer and it's taking for freaking ever. I'm getting a little concerned now. I think you know what? I think my computer has been hearing me talk about wanting to bring virtual reality into my house, which would require the purchase of a new computer one of these days. I just want you to know, computer, I'm not replacing you. You're still my voiceover computer. Okay, you're okay. You're not going anywhere. Just need to console it. I'd say it's a big tech glitch. Not a small one. But anyway, here we are. So anyway, the point is that it's not about $5 jobs, because I wouldn't do it. If every job was just $5, I wouldn't spend my time doing it. But as I said at the beginning of this, as you get your workflow down, which I'm going to show you exactly what I do. What is going on? This is crazy. Then I think the computer just turned off again. I have no idea what's going on. Let's just continue talking. Once you get your workflow down, you can turn these things around really quickly. So then truly a $5 job, which if it was just a $5 job, 50 words, which could maybe take you a minute and a half to record, edit, and deliver. Once you get your workflow down and have some experience, now that's a $45 job that you've delivered in a couple of minutes. So extrapolate that. I've had jobs that have paid as much as $1,000. That was my highest one order. $1,000, and it took me 22 minutes. Again, can't promise that for you, but you get all sorts of jobs running through. And again, that's going to depend on the type of voice you use, how needed it is. Obviously, my voice is this kind of generic announcer voice, and so I'm asked to do a lot of things like explainer videos for web pages, video sales letters, just things like that need an announcer. Podcast intros, voicemail systems, training for software training and tutorials and things like that, because it's just a real voice explanatory video. And on my demo, I have if you go to my Fiverr gig, which is Fiverr, by the way, has 2 R's, fiverr.com/boundless, you'll see that on my demo, I demonstrate a variety of different reads, different ways that I could read a script, so that people understand, oh yeah, I like that style, I like that style. So they'll order and they'll say, I like the voice that you did right at the beginning where you say, this is Mary, or I like the Phil voice where you're sounding really big and epic. Hi, Danny Lobb. Nice to have you here. That's nice of you to say thank you. But yeah, so I'm getting a little worried here about my computer because I don't know what's going on. I do need to work today, and I'm just not clear. It's just spinning, trying to restart. But, actually, here's the thing. Let's say this just isn't going to work. There's plenty of opportunities for you to see exactly what I'm talking about, because I've done this exact type of blab where I demonstrate my voiceover work and show my workflow several times. In fact, if you look at the blab replays, if you just look at my profile here on blab, there's one I did not that long ago, a couple of weeks ago, which is basically exactly what I was going to do today. And so, oh, what's going on? Hold on, screen went blank now. Wow, this really isn't going to be good. If there's something wrong, copy this format when you set up your voiceover. Oh, you did one already. Ow. Okay, I just hit my elbow into a printer. So CJ Ripka is already doing it. How's it going for you, I wonder? Anyway, so we're just wrapping up the class that we did the first round. Sorry, I'm looking because the screen goes black and it's acting like it's going to do something, and I just don't know. Because, you know, it's Monday. On Mondays, I generally come into, it can be anywhere between 15 and 30 jobs waiting for me. Do you restore your computer to a previous point? Yes, I can. Well, I'm going to have to go through the whole process of doing that. And I'm certainly not going to, if I have to do that here, we're just going to end this and I'll point you to like what I said. I have actually, if you go to bobdoylevoice.com and you start to leave the page, you should get a little pop-up that takes you to, that invites you anyway, to a voiceover, a Fiverr page, a Facebook page that has a lot of these previous sessions like this as well. There's lots of opportunity for you to see this because I've been sharing my process for quite some time. I just wanted to do it live so that you could ask questions and all that. Hi, Erica Michelle. Nice to have you here. Working on updates now. So computer's just turning away. So we have this little chat time. Not really getting much work from Fiverr, getting more work from Facebook. Well, great, whatever works. I really just like to, whether you use Fiverr or not, I just want to get people who are interested in Fiverr to know, voice work, to know that there are other options besides just going to find an agent, spending $1,500 to get a demo tape done and all of this other stuff. You can start working as a voiceover person. Now, in terms of, what CJ say, not getting a lot of work from Fiverr right now, I think what we would do if in the class, we talk about the various ways to share your gigs, to get a little bit of exposure and all of that. I think really the best way is to get, in terms of on Fiverr, is to just do really good work and get high ratings and things like that. Wow, thank you so much, Beauty Bubble. I appreciate that. We're now 44% complete on our updates. If you're in business, one must cross-pollinate your unique opportunity on multiple social. Yes, well, I do cross-pollinate. I'm a big cross-pollinator, as I mentioned, just about everything I do whenever I do anything. Okay, 77% complete on there. Any other questions? Just general questions before we get into this, because once this loads, then I gotta, get back on Blab. I gotta load up all my video stuff. I mean, it's still gonna be a few minutes, but I'd still happy to do that. And I have a lot of and in fact, I was hoping that I could do this before I started this Blab, but I just got a little round of video testimonials from the people who are currently in the course, who have shared their experience, positive, so you could see that, but I haven't had a chance to put that on there. Yes, Jason Bates. Hi, Jason. Nice to have you here. We are experiencing currently a sort of a technical glitch, which has gotten me broadcasting right now on my phone while my computer restarts. This really isn't this is not creating the final recording I was hoping for. To be able to share and share this opportunity. But anyway, it's fun. And I think that this is this information that I'm sharing with you now, as I can't actually do the work, is some of the stuff that people want to know the most. Like, what about my voice? I don't know that I have a good enough voice. Well, we'll see. My position is that if you really want to do this and you can do a little bit of acting and can communicate, that it's not, the voice itself isn't, it's not a do or die thing. Got to be able to dance with your own. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Years of radio, luckily. All right. Guess what? I've got a login screen, ladies and gentlemen, on my computer. So now, of course, you log in and all the stuff starts booting or starts loading in the background. So it'll still be a few minutes. Thank you, Beauty Bubble. You're so sweet to say that. It's asking me, do I want to tell my followers I'm on the air here on my phone? I'm just not sure this is what I want to send them to, because they're expecting to see something. But I will notify folks again when this thing finally loads up. But anyway, yes, I continue to tap dance. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll do a little puppet show. Yeah, I was just about to introduce you. We'll do a little puppet show while we wait. Hi, I'm Bob. Hi, I'm not Bob. Yes, and I do voiceover. I don't. Well, that's the end of the show. Unfortunately, that's all the time we had for rehearsal. And the scriptwriter isn't very talented. So that's it for the puppet show. That's why I don't do puppet show blabs right now, because we need a new writing staff. We need new actors. You know, this one here, no confidence in their ability. So, right. Everyone send out this technical fail to everyone you know. Okay, hold on. Now I've got a screen. So let's just start clicking buttons, opening up browsers, and seeing if I can get this show back on the road. Now, if I do that, of course, I'm going to need Beauty Bubble or somebody or Mike to jump back in as host so that I can, you know, come back in on my computer. But we're not quite ready to do that yet because I've got all this other crud I got to do just to get to where I need to be to start this thing. So when I started on Fiverr, I think it was, you know, the first few months or so, it was super part-time and, you know, a couple $100 extra a month. And the thing is that is good. I mean, that's a game changer for some people, you know, just a couple $100 extra a month. But then it really started quickly growing. And then also Fiverr changed a lot and added opportunities. Oh, I forgot to tell you another great gig extra, but other opportunities to make the gigs generate more revenue, like adding a commercial license for different formats and all these other things and packages. And they've done a lot. So if you're a seller over at Fiverr, the opportunities for income generation it just keeps going and going. And like I said, right now, my rate is 1 gig for every 50 words of a script. Well, when I started, it was 200 words. And then after a while, I gained some confidence and put it down to 100 words and then 75 words and now 50, where it's been sitting for quite a while. But I've seen other voiceover people do 25. And so, in effect, I could double what I make by going to 25 words. Now, of course, there's some people who won't pay that rate, and so those people will fall away. So right now, I'm feeling like 50 is a sweet spot. I'm happy to do it at 50 right now. Again, as you extrapolate an hourly rate, it's pretty freaking good. And when I talk to other voiceover talents who are doing it the traditional way, now, wait a minute, what happened here? Now I'm seeing somebody it looks like I just joined on another, what's going on here? Weird. I just joined in another window and I have no idea how that happened. Or somebody, I don't know what's going on there. I'm going to show you this. I will show you this. I will show you this. Oh, I can do it here. So this is a video studio. So there's a lot of video equipment here in the background. We do a lot of, you know, obviously green screen work and things like that. And but my studio area right now is just too cluttered. I just can't show. I can show you the equipment here. If I showed you I've got stuff all over everything. Don't you understand? I'm trying to create the perception of a nice, clean, professional studio. But what I really have is a kangaroo puppet and a protein bar and a bell and all sorts of other nonsense. Okay, what's going on here? Load the current presentation. Yeah, I know I didn't. We're working on it here. What is going on? I wonder who's in that other window. I guess I'll find out once I'm in Blab. On.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the freaking Fiverr Voiceover Blab. All right. Well, we've certainly done. Thank you. We've certainly done all the setup. I don't think we need to do any more talking. Let's just get into it. So let me talk you through how this all works. So here is Fiverr. This is my dashboard. This is where it all happens. Every morning I come in here and yes, grab your popcorn and notepads, ladies and gerbs. So this is what I see. Obviously, I'm also blocking a little piece of orders completed, all that stuff. But for the purposes of this, and I know I'm probably a little off to the side because I'm on Blab and the screens are squat, but I try to compromise because I'm not broadcasting on YouTube Live right now because I hadn't started that again. And I probably won't. I won't worry about it. Anyway, so here we go. So I come to this page and let me just briefly show you around a little bit so you understand what these numbers are and what I'm looking at. Sales in the queue means that in theory, I've got 44 sales in the queue. It's a little misleading because what happens sometimes is people order and then they just go away. They never really complete the transaction and those numbers stack up. I would have to go through in my queue and find all those people and initiate a cancellation. which every now and then I do. It's probably about time to do that so that I have a more accurate representation of what jobs I really have in front of me. Today, you'll see I have 11 to-dos. That's what it says right here. And these are the jobs, and this is how they appear on my screen. So this is kind of a typical Monday. Sometimes I have more, sometimes I have less. This number here, earned this month, 6126. That means, hey, JR Molina, thank you for joining. This number here means that I have done and delivered $6,126 worth of voiceover work so far in April. Now, I will just be honest with you. Best month so far. Last month we breached 10,000, or we got a little past 10,000 for the month. Not bad for part-time, right? Is anyone getting excited yet? Okay. So now we're on track for, I don't know. We'll see. Because at any time I could get some really freaking, yeah, this is six figures. That's correct. In fact, if you want me to, let's see if I can do this real quick. Just for a little bit of social proof. If you see that number, you can't see it because I'm in the way. So there's the total earned with Fiverr, 113,603, since I started. But the bulk of that has been in the past year. And now that I'm consistently basically over 9,000 a month, it's a six-figure deal. So that's how that works. Open purchases refers to things that I bought on Fiverr from like another person, and I don't have any outstanding orders. Balance here means that much has cleared that I have not yet downloaded into either a bank account or PayPal or whatever. So like at the end of the day, this number will increase over the course of the day as jobs that I've done previously clear the system. There's a sort of a clearing time. So the time that you deliver the order, and then Fiverr has like a clearing of like 7 to 14 days, depending on what level of seller you are. I won't get into all that detail right now. But in any case, this is what I could download right now and transfer over to my PayPal account. And as I say, as things clear throughout the course of the day, that number goes up. So that's how that works. Okay. So let's just now when I click through an order, this one's due in 10 hours, which means they probably ordered it yesterday during the weekend when I was out and about having fun, having a weekend, trying to. And so they ordered 24-hour delivery, as you can tell. So right here, you see it's a $15 job, right? So no, I'm sorry. This is a perfect example. This is allegedly, I haven't looked at the script yet. Sometimes they miscalculate, but in theory, this is a 1 gig job. So less than 50 words or less for $5, but they want it in 24 hours, so it becomes a $15 job. So then I just click show requirements, and it's an intro for a podcast. See, so this is my entire job. All I have to do is read and deliver this, and that's $15. Now, my whole workflow process is slowed down when I'm doing Fiverr. I mean, when I'm doing these blabs, because I'm explaining everything, right? And I'm kind of trying to walk you through what I'm doing. So it's a little bit slower, but I think you get the idea. So I'm going to go over here to Adobe Audition. This is the program I use for recording and editing audio. In the course, we teach you how to use Audacity, which is a free audio recording and editing program. We have video tutorials for everything. So everything is a video tutorial that walks you step by step through creating your gig description, your everything. Using the various software, all of it is covered. So you are good to go from the very beginning. Hi, Durham Skywriter. I like that name. Doesn't everyone like that name? Durham Skywriter. All right. So anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to create a file. This is called, as I look ahead, it's Entrepreneur Now. That's what the script here says. So I'm just going to call this, you can't see a little pop-up that just occurred. There's some things that this screen sharing thing will not share, like drop-down menus. And even if I open up a script in Word, I would like to be able to show it to you. For whatever reason, it doesn't show. But I'm just going to call this Entrepreneur Now. And I'm going to record it all like this. You're listening to Entrepreneur Now. Today's strategies to build your business, increase your sales, and design. Okay, so I'm going to start that over. And when I make a mistake, I clap. And if you see the waveform there's a big spike. That way I can see it. All right. Now, I read most of my stuff cold, which means I don't read it through or practice it or whatever first before starting to record. I don't recommend that for someone just getting started out. Hi, Durham. Thanks for saying hello. Hi, Jez. Jez, wait a minute. Could it? No, Jess. I know a Jess Johnson, and I thought maybe it was you. Anyway, nice to have you here, Jess. Okay, so let's start that over. You're listening to Entrepreneur Now. Today's strategies to build your business, increase your sales, and design your ideal life. Here's your hosts, Jeremy Sando and Austin Hilton. All right, that's it. So I'm going to just take out all of this stuff that I clearly didn't need. Trim off the front and the back. Now, one of the things I do on every file that I do is run two filters. One is called Normalize. Again, the pop-up you can't see, but you'll see the waveform probably adjust in size a little bit. This basically takes the volume of the file and makes it sort of an industry standard. The next thing I do is run still another little plugin on it, which you can't see popped up there, but it's a noise reduction filter. So anything that might have been going on in the background, a fan or whatever, which isn't the case, but I just run that anyway, will be eliminated. So you get a nice, clean recording. Let's see. You're listening to Entrepreneur Now. Today's strategies to build your... Okay, so now all I do is I'm going to save this out as an MP3. My default delivery is as an MP3. Again, you can't see all the pop-up menus that are where I'm saving this stuff. And then I'm going to go back over to Fiverr and click on Deliver Your Order. Click on Upload. Again, you can't see the pop-up, but I'm going to select my file once my external hard drive wakes up and presents it to me. Come on now. Okay, Entrepreneur Now. And now you'll see right here, well, you would if I wasn't in the way. Hold on, let me move out. See right here where it says use quick response. When I click on this, this pops up a menu of previously written responses that I have done based on, hey, I end up saying this over and over and over again. The audio interface I'm using is the Alesis IO2. And I've got everything in terms of EQ on the board that this mic is running through, basically straight up. Again, if you don't need to have all of this stuff, okay? I just need you to know that. You don't need to have all this stuff, but I'm just answering the question about what I am currently using. So in this case, I'm going to deliver this, and whenever I deliver this, I use this one here that I've pre-written called If You're Happy, Close. And it basically says, in essence, it says, here's your file. I hope you like it. If you need a revision, please request one formally. Formally. Yeah, I said that right. And then I deliver the work. So now if I hadn't been doing all that talking, right, and explaining everything, then that really truly would have taken me about a minute to record, edit, and deliver. So $15 a minute. Seems like I came in the thick of it. No, not really. Well, no, I was really just getting started. We had some major technical issues at the beginning, and I had to start all over again, basically. All right, so now we just move on to the next thing. And just so you know, I'm not going to go through all of these, and I haven't looked at these. So like if the next one here is a really long one, I'm going to skip on to the next one because you don't need to watch me do a really long one because that can be brutal. All right, here we go. So brutal meaning like if it's an 8,000 word script, that can take me an hour. Lots of editing, not the purpose of this. I like these short little jobs are great demonstrations. Focusrite Scarlett 212 130. Are these what this is your I don't recognize any of that equipment. None. Cool. Short recap. Well, what I'm demonstrating is how I generate revenue on Fiverr doing voiceover. And I'm showing you my entire workflow process to show you how quick it can be and just see so you can see how the process works and see that it is in fact accessible. That's awesome. I gathered you probably did. So if you do voiceover work, then, well, you missed what I first said. I don't know if you do it the traditional way with agents and going on auditions and all that, but this, of course, bypasses all of that, which is perfect for me. You market it yourself. That's great. That's great. I mean, that's my mentality too. What I like about Fiverr is that you're kind of built in. They can find you and all of that, but there's no pay to play. You do pay a percentage of your earnings to Fiverr, and it is 20%. So for a $5 job, you get $4. Okay. But again, and I've had people complain about that too. And I just point back to the numbers, but at the end of the day, I'm bringing home 5 figures a month. Please don't nitpick me and nickel and dime and try to tell me that this isn't a good idea, because this is a freaking great idea. Okay. And I'm not talking to you, ask WT support, but this is some of the resistance I get from people who are in the industry who have done it the old way. And I think that they actually have a little bit of resentment or something, because I've picked up on the energy from people who do it the traditional way, and they say, oh, Fiverr's not legit. You can't make any money. And I'm like, okay, Fine. Do it your way. I'll continue to do it my way. I've been told I have a good radio voice. Yes, I do this part-time. I do this a few hours a day. And then I get back into my regular career. So 2-3 hours a day for a 6-figure income. And I'm loving it. And ladies and gentlemen, Lynn Rose has walked into the room. I don't think she's going to show herself. Yeah. I can't call your phone right now. I'm busy. I'm doing this thing. I've got people here. All right, I'll do it. I'll call. Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, call Lynn Rose mobile. This is professional show business, ladies and gentlemen. She can't find her phone. All right, that's Lynn Rose, the lovely and talented Lynn Rose, ladies and gentlemen. The love of my life. Not only do I think there is a demand for an English accent, I know there is. And that's a really great point. If you can do dialects and accents and things like that, people are always coming to Fiverr for things like that. They just want a line or two read, right? They want something for whatever, and they want an accent, and they can't do it, so they go to Fiverr. They're not going to go hire an agent for some fun little work project or something, right, and spend several $100s, but they will come to Fiverr and pay you $40, right? And all you do is read a line or two. So absolutely there is a demand for that. Yes, that would give you an advantage on the English accent thing if in fact you are English. Okay, so let's move on. So here we are on this job, and this says you'll find a script. Don't read the logo. The voiceover will be used to pitch a concept called alloy wheels, whatever. Let's take a look at this script. Well, you won't be able to see it. Well, maybe you will. No, you won't. I don't know why they're not showing up, but I'm popping it up. Easy. All right. So now I didn't get a lot of definite direction on how, in terms of the tone and the energy of the script. So I'm just kind of looking at it. But the first line is, how do you define quality? So I'm assuming, based on just, what I've heard, a lot of commercials, and I'll just pick up on the feel of it, that it's going to be kind of a, how do you define quality? We like to think of it as a state of mind. So I'm going to try that approach first. And then they may come back and say, oh, we were actually looking for this. And or they'll come back and say, that's not exactly what we were looking for. And if that's the case and they don't give me any further direction, then I write them back and I say, can you please point me to a specific example of what you're looking for so that I can emulate it? Because there's no sense in wasting time going back and forth trying to guess what they want. I just ask them, show me exactly what you want. And then because it's very rare that I actually have to do revisions. But when I do, if they ask for something and it's sort of ambiguous as to what they're wanting, then I ask specific. Again, that's part of being efficient, and that's part of making this workflow thing quick. There's really an art to creating your Fiverr gig and your description and your requirements and all that. Do I include demo scripts in the coaching? Yes, I point to a source, and I point to a source of scripts of all different kinds, and people come to the class, and they send me a script or two that they want to work on during the group coaching of the voiceover, and then they come in and we all share a room, basically a video conferencing room, and I give coaching to everybody. So everybody gets to benefit from the coaching that the other people get. And yes, they bring their scripts, and then I sit there, and I probably got some around here somewhere. I do, right here. And then I mark it up and give them direction and stuff like that. And we work on it. So yes, absolutely. I do give you access to those things. Let me go ahead and do this one. And this is AEZ. All right. You're on I don't have the right thing showing. There we go. So I can delineate all this nonsense talking. How do you define quality? We like to think of it as a state of mind, a certain way to approach things, a time of undivided attention and care, and the will to push yourself way beyond what was thought possible. Having an eye for the details, but never losing the big picture. Quality is what made us who we are today, and it remains our greatest achievement. AEZ, the highest quality standards in wheel design. See, that's just my interpretation of that script. They may come back and say, no, we want to, how do you define quality? We like to think of it as a state of mind, a certain way to approach things, a type of attention. But until they tell me that, I'm giving them that, and we'll see what happens. All right, so now you can see where I clapped. So I just take all that stuff out, take out the end, exact same process as I did before. Normalize, do the noise reduction, and save. And deliver. We'll go back over here to the delivery page. Easy, boom. Same, if you're happy, close, boom. See, that's it. The thing is that, I know I'm breezing through this real quick and I'm going, okay, $20, $15, da, da, da. For some people, being able to do $15, $20 in 20 minutes would be awesome. I've been an entrepreneur for 12 years or so. And so the whole concept of hourly wages and minimum wage and $7 an hour, $8 an hour, $20 an hour, when we live in a world where and I'm not disparaging this, so please don't take this wrong, but people are thinking $20 an hour, that's pretty darn good. In comparison to a lot of things, it definitely is. Or you can do $20 in a minute and a half. So, and look, if you're not a voiceover person, but you have some other creative gift to share, Fiverr is a great place to explore to see, well, maybe there's an outlet, because Fiverr has not just, traditional things like voiceover and graphic design and logos and things like that. There's a bunch of crazy crap out there too that people are generating income with. Adobe Audition, automating common tasks. Great. By using Adobe, creating favors for automating, normalizing, and EQing. Yeah, there are automated things I can do, and I haven't done that with this. And you're correct. Now, what I'm finding, though, of course, is most people are not using Audition who are starting this, because it is an expensive program, and so they're using Audacity, and that's fine. You can totally use Audacity. I actually had to learn it myself to be able to teach the course, and it took no time at all. So, and like I said, all of that training is available there in the course. So, all right, let's go on to another one real quick. And now this person here is one of my regular customers. Here we have a $30 job. Again, it's basically 4 gigs, but they want it in 24 hours, so that's an extra $10 right there. And yeah, this one has to be delivered as soon as possible. Now, quite frankly, guys, honestly, I try and clear my plate every day. I don't ever like to close up shop at the end of the day with any jobs outstanding. So I like to deliver same day all the time. But if they absolutely have to have it guaranteed either that day or the next day, then they pay for the extra, because anything could happen. Anything could come up. I could have a schedule that says, oh, I should be able to get all this done today, no problem. And then somebody comes in with a 4,000 word script or something that has to be done today, and they pay for it. Well, now I may have to bump some of those jobs to the next day if they didn't pay for extra fast delivery. But the idea is to really turn it around as quickly as possible, because one of the reasons that is so great is it gives the buyer they expect 2 to 3 days, and then they get it in a couple of hours. They're thrilled. And what really drives repeat business and reputation on Fiverr is great reviews, 5-star reviews, great reviews. If you go to my Fiverr gig now at fiverr.com/boundless, the link's in there somewhere, and look at my reviews, you'll see pages and pages and pages of 5-star positive reviews. Clearly that helps, right? So, but that takes time to build. So again, you start where you start, and you just take your time. The great thing is, it is so part-time. Why not? So what if you only get 1 job a week? What if you only get 1 job a week? Well, it's cost you nothing, and it's extra money, and you're getting better, and you're practicing and all of that. It's just sitting there waiting for you. You don't have to pay for this opportunity. You can just go do it, right? So, and you can put yourself on vacation mode and all of this stuff. In terms of time and flexibility, you call the shots. You say how much you work. You say how much they pay. You go on vacation whenever you want. It's pretty much freaking perfect. All right. Let's take a look at this script for the next one. And I think I'll do this one and then maybe take a few more questions, and then I'll end this, because first of all, we spent a lot of time up front with technical issues. And then am I still recording? Okay, good. Thank gosh. I may edit this down into something that we can actually use. All right. But you get the idea. You see the workflow, and there's no need for you to watch me do every single job. If there was a variety of different jobs, like sometimes I have jobs where I mix music with it, and that would be another demonstration. Or I synchronize the audio that I do to a video. Now, these are all things that I provide as extras. They're not, you don't have to offer those things. So I'm very clear on what I will do, and I make sure that I charge enough for doing those extra things that it's worth it to me, because synchronizing an audio, a script to a video that already exists, clearly it's a whole different skill set, and it's a whole other commitment of time. And so in my case, it basically doubles the quote. Okay, just as an example. So you do what you're comfortable with. And then in the background, you could start by just doing voiceover, just reading the line, and that's it. And then in the background, you could be developing your skills. You could practice learning to mix music in, or practice doing this other stuff. And then when you're ready, you throw that into the mix. Okay. I've certainly added services as time has gone on. And one of the things I'll do, this is a little trick that I share inside the class, to learn new ways to up your, what you make per job, is go around and see what other voiceover people are doing. What extras are they offering? I've gotten a lot of great ideas from looking at other successful voiceover people on Fiverr and go, I never would have thought to charge for that. But of course, why wouldn't I? And you put it in. And again, remember that no matter what these people are paying you here on Fiverr, it's a better deal than out there in the real world. So every now and then you'll get somebody who's expecting, well, it's Fiverr, why are you charging $55? Next, you just say no to those people. There's no reason to get into a match with these people who are wanting to try and make you discount or try and get you down lower. Once you put up your thing, you are a voiceover professional. High Noise Broadcast, you are professional and you act that way, and you stand by your rates and you hold firm. You're not a jerk about it, but you just like, nope, these are my rates and this is how much it costs. That the minute you start discounting or doing any of that stuff or negotiating with people like that off of what your rates are, you're asking for a world of hurt, because now every job with them is going to be a negotiation. It's going to take too much time. You're not interested in that. I promise you. Shall we get on to reading the next thing? Here we go. This one is Dollar Davis. Are we on the right page here? Now we are. Okay, here we go. In today's business world, you're always offered advice, and it's difficult to spot the real values in a world of imitations. You need a trusted partner on your team. With Fowler Davis, their mission and values are real. With over 30 years' experience in the marketing and advertising industry, they bring creative thinking to the forefront. Sometimes it's difficult to know how to market your company. Technology keeps changing, and telling your story in a manner that stirs emotion in your customers takes the passion of a wickedly talented team. They combine the art of design with technology and branding. They get to know you and your business and create innovative ideas that tell the truth, tell your story, and stir emotion that will forge a strong bond to your brand. Fowler Davis is top shelf marketing and advertising at an affordable price you just can't resist. What are you waiting for? Let's begin the conversation and put the ideas in motion. All right, I am mistake-free today, except for that first one. Anyway, so yeah, like these guys, like I said at the beginning, these are regular customers of mine, and their scripts are always well written. There's not a lot of typos, and that is a joy, because that can be a stumbling block. If you get a script, like in my gig description, when I set up a requirement, like, okay, they've ordered the job, I say, you deliver me a fully proofread script, only in English, like I have my own parameters. And if they don't do that, you see, then it just takes a bunch of time. Now you have to go back and forth. This script isn't proofread. So you try and be firm up there. So what did I do? I clicked the wrong button. Let me save this out. Fowler Davis. Go over here to Fiverr and deliver. Oops, if I can find my Fiverr window. There you are. And if you're happy, please close. Boom. That's it. All right. So I could just keep going on and doing this, but I think you get the idea. So let me just kind of recap. Now, again, this cool thing now where you can click. Now, if you're watching the replay, you can't, but you can always go to bobdoylevoice.com and check out this course that I'm teaching, where we really dig into this. Now, on that page, you'll see I do outline everything, and you'll see examples of the revenue generation possibility. And right now I'm doing, so because I've done the course once, I know a little something more than I did before when we did it. So it's going to be just a skosh different this time. Hi, Carinder, or however your name is said. So there's an early bird price right now. And then and for the people who are here on Blab, the people who have expressed an interest before, I'm honoring that price. But here in a week or so, it'll be like general public stuff, and I'm adding $100 to it, because now I know kind of what I've got ahead of me and how much time is involved and all of that. And with the coaching and voiceover coaching by itself if you were to hire a voiceover coach, pay a couple $100 an hour, and that's not what you're paying here. You're getting the benefit of the coaching in a group and all of that, and it's all included in the price. Plus, you're learning how to create basically a turnkey business on a platform that's already there for you, that costs you nothing to do, and seriously, our goal in this course is to get you ready to rock and roll by the end of the 4 weeks, meaning you have a gig description, you've got a profile up there, you've got a demo done, you found your voice, we've worked with you to find your style, we've created a demo that communicates that style, we've helped you to create a video for your page, you're ready to go basically. So now it's a matter of getting out there and sharing your gig with people and then generating that revenue. But again, now, I'm at the point where, every now and then I'll get a job, which is 3,000 words or something. And that's a $300 job at my rate. And that would pay for the course and then some, so it is truly an investment in a career move. And for what is possible here, if I had known coming in that I could shortcut my leap to making 5 figures a month on Fiverr, if somebody had shortcut it for me and told me, do this, would have been worth the investment, right? So that's why I'm showing you all my numbers and not just talking like, well, it could happen maybe one day for someone, and showing you what I'm doing here. And as you'll see, and I encourage you to do this, to go to Fiverr and look around at some of the voiceover people, look at how many jobs there are out there, look at how many styles there are out there, and just realize that there's room for everybody. There's room for everybody. Some may work a lot more than others. That's just the nature of things. But if you're really good at what you do, however your voice sounds, if you do it well, you'll find your audience. For me, I don't see ever not doing this on Fiverr. The only thing that would ever take me out of doing it on Fiverr is some sort of long-term, ridiculously huge contract where the parameters of my working conditions are basically the same. I have a lifestyle that I'm committed to, and it does not include running around all over Los Angeles to go to auditions and recording sessions when I can do this, right? So, this is the way for me. And I could pop my rates up to 30 words for a gig instead of 50 and give myself an increase, or 25 or whatever I want to do. So I'm not anywhere near done maximizing what I can do here on Fiverr. And that's why I'm just so excited because in my other world, in personal development, and I teach law of attraction, and there's a lot about abundance and attracting money. And, I know that people have a lot of stuff around money. They're struggling with money and they're trying to figure out ways just to make a little bit here and there. And so for me, it's like, well, here's a way, and again, it doesn't have to be voiceover, but just to know that there's this platform out there called Fiverr where you can share yourself with a little bit of work and a little bit of learning. And truly, and I wouldn't expect that if you aren't into voiceover that you would join my course. But if you did, and even if you weren't interested in voiceover, what I teach you about Fiverr and setting up your gigs and stuff, that would probably be great value. But I'm not asking you to do that. This is a voiceover class, and I want you to come in wanting to do voiceover. If there are no more questions here, I'll wrap it up because I think I pretty much communicated. But between at the very beginning where I had to just talk and not demonstrate, I think I pretty much set up a lot of stuff there on Fiverr. And if you missed that part, if you came in late, you can watch the replay of this thing, despite the technical guffaws, thanks to Mike coming in and saving the day for me a couple of times. And thank you for the nice, all of you, Mike and Beauty Bubble, thank you so much for the nice, not ready for a course. I'm planning to start a podcast soon, which I may host, could perhaps do with some voice coaching then. That's great. I actually do have a whole other offering of private coaching, which is more along the lines of the rates that I told you. I do have an introductory offer, and it's not about Fiverr. It's just voiceover coaching. It's just, let's find your style. Let's find you some scripts. Let's work on your stuff, and I've got some, like I said earlier, I've got some testimonials from the people in the course right now about my coaching ability and how they like it and all of that. I don't have that on the page now. That's by the end of the day, but hopefully you've gotten the idea that I might be able to actually coach you. If that's something that you want to do. And you could go to bobdoylevoice.com/private if you're interested in that. It's really something that I normally just offer to the people who are in the course who want to take their learning and their coaching up a notch because, we have limited time in the group environment. But everybody gets to work on 1 or 2 scripts, and I basically give everybody at the end of it some things to work on, and then they work on them and they can post them. We have a online group. a Facebook page for those people who are in the course. And that's where we interact. That's where we can give other coaching. That's where we can give support, ask questions, all of those things between our live calls and the pre-recorded learning stuff. And, you get this great sense of community and everybody supporting each other and all of that. So it's just a nice vibe in general. Plus you're learning all this stuff and getting excited for each other. Thank you, Beauty Bubble. I appreciate that. All right, Taya, I'm so nice to finally meet you. And I hope you'll come back next time I do something. The Bob Doyle show is the next thing on my blab schedule. Tomorrow at 6 p.m. I keep trying all these new times, but 6 p.m. Pacific time is the Bob Doyle show. That's a whole different deal, my friends. But you can also see the replays of that here on Blab, or you can go to bobdoyleshow.com if you like. Okay, well, I'm going to wrap it up here, ladies and gentlemen. This has been the Voiceover Coaching Blab. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've gotten something out of it. If you're interested in the course, it'd be great to have you in there. Like I said, we're going to start here in a couple of weeks. And between now and the time that it starts, you'll have access to the script repository that I was talking about before. You'll be able to go through and start to find some things that you may be interested in. Basically, there's a little bit of pre-class stuff that you can be doing to kind of get up to speed. If you don't, if you come in at the last minute and you've just done it, that's fine too. But obviously, if you jump in now, you're going to save some money, and also you'll get a little bit ahead of the game. You'll get you'll get immediate access to the Facebook group, so you can start meeting some of the other people who have been here before. And also you'll basically have pretty much quick access to a lot of the course material. Some of the learning stuff, even though it doesn't officially start until it starts, when we have live sessions and we start to talk. But like I said, most of the course material, how to do this, how to do that, is all pre-recorded, and you'll have access to that as well. So just something to think about. All right, so I have to do this, and then hold on. There. I just wanted the theme music. I'm just so happy to have this goofy little theme music for the Voiceover Coaching Blab. So that's what this has been, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for spending your time with me today. I really, 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 really appreciate your patience when we were going through all the really goofy stuff there at the beginning. But I hope to see you again, either at the Bob Doyle Show or right here or wherever I see you. It'll be my pleasure. And we will talk again very, very soon.